the good a good theme is patience. I know people no patience. Everything, yeah, in a certain way. We gotta slow it down a little bit. Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, okay. Oh, Mitakepi, okay. Diane watching a copy. Can't really see you, but in my mind, I can see you. I just want to say thank you for those of you that are tuning in, and we're in a new location here now. This is gonna be our new stomping grounds here for a little bit. We're up at the old radio station. It's been a while since I've been here, and but we're just gonna keep moving ahead. I know it's pretty cool actually. The reason why we're here now is they're gonna be using the community center for NADAF and the programs down there from what I hear, just as important, we were talking yesterday about how what would be the word for sober minded. We'd say tawachin washte, a good mind. It kind of I think having a sober mind is you kind of get a sense of clarity. Reality starts to set in after a while. So I would say I guess you could look for another word. Wowi chaka might be a word for truth. So the more, I guess, if you live a sober life, you're more truthful. I'd imagine. So I don't know. We never really sober living was a way of life. So we uh, I guess you could say a reality check. There's a reality check. So um, but yesterday we were talking about the word akiktunje, akiktunja, to forget. I imagine a lot of us, a lot of these words, we chuig then awake. Like I'll forget. We forget these words, and then so I imagine, when we're talking, learning a language too, this is a word that we'd be using a lot. So yesterday we said that we would do the conjugation on the word forget, to forget. Akiktunje, akiktuja. So we'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and start with that. And there's another one here, pretty cool. And then that I saw to wait. Akipa. Akipe. That's another real good one here. And so, but also we're building up our nouns right now. Kind of like doing hopefully by the end here we can all learn 1,000 nouns. There's other words too that like once springtime comes, we're gonna see taskakpa, chapunka, um, the mosquitoes and the wood ticks and such. So those kind of words, to learn about the springtime words, because that's coming up pretty quick. I always remember once January hits, the the Dakota tournament comes up pretty quick, and then before you know it, you're in the spring. So it's moving along pretty quick. Akik doom. There's a sound right here, by the way, on this one. Doom doom. It's kind of like a doom. So looks like you'd want to say toom on there, right? Akik doom. Akik duje. Akik doom. Akiktunje, akiktu, and then there's another version, the ja, akiktuja would be the kind of like a pastime version of it. Akiktunje is presently at this current moment. There's a sense of forgetfulness that's happening right now. Akiktuja is something that happened in the past on that one. So, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. If it was a command, that's right, yeah. So keep that in mind. Yeah, we wouldn't say akitunje wo. It would akituja wo. Like forget it. And let it go, right? Yeah. Yeah, akituja. So that's why we brought up this word because some of us, we hold on to some of these hurtful memories, and sometimes it could affect what we're doing now. And, definitely when we're learning our language, we want to have that clear mind. And so sometimes it is about that, kind of letting go of somebody's troublesome thoughts, akiktuja. So keep that in mind. So if Funkan ever says that akiktuja, uh, they're in a sense telling, it's not in a sense forget it, but it's in a sense, put it out of your mind where it doesn't necessarily have to sit there like that. And so, by the way, I always want to thank those of us here that are consistently coming up here to be with us together, because the energy that we bring here together really really means a lot. And so I know many of us were hoping and praying we'll have 1,000 people in our language classes, but it just doesn't work out that way. And one thing that I did hear too is there's a lot of language teachers that maybe kind of got sort of frustrated by the fact that there's not too many people coming. But I always say if we have one, that's enough. That's enough. We're gonna celebrate, because that one language speaker is gonna affect a big family. So it doesn't just affect that one person. Um, so akiktunja. And so now I'm going to change this into myself. I'm going to talk about myself here. Awektunje. Wektung. There's that sound we were talking about. We don't hear it too. Yeah. Oh, this one is supposed to be okay here. Awektung. Awektunje. And I don't know if you guys want to do J like that. I don't know how. Sometimes people would spell the word Jean with J's. Jean. So I don't know. Like I say, we talk about the. I'm gonna keep talking about these how you spell this. It's really, again, it's up to you, because we don't want to control that part. That part actually caused arguments sometimes how it's supposed to be spelled. But there's no reason for that, because this is the first time we're really writing our language like this. Awektunje. Awektunje. So this is awektung. Awektunje. I forgot. Awektunje. Odoa ki he awektunje. I forgot that song. Like that. Uh, Due he awektunje. That person. I forgot that person. Like that's another one there too. So you could put some a noun of something that you forgot, and then you can put that I forgot. That's why I forgot that. We choye kinhe. That's a good one for learning the language. We choye is the word for word. We choye. We choye kinhe awake tunje. I forgot that word. I forgot that word. We choye. Uh, we're in our nouns too. We'll talk about that word we choye coming up too. Awake tunje. Awake tunje. But again, if we were talking about something uh, that you forgot in the past, it'll change awake tunja. Awake tunja. Uh, so if you want to practice this part, those of us that are just learning our pronunciation, ktung, ktung. Geez, that sound, every time I hear that sound, it really reminds me of the sound of when you throw a rock in the water. Um. It kind of makes that sound, ktung, like that. So that's especially this one. Ktung. Geez, that really sounds like a rock hitting the water. You know, when you throw a big rock in the water. So that's the sound that if because that sound there you might want to practice because you're not going to hear that in English barely at all. Awake, ktung, ktung, je, we, ktung, je, we, ktung, je, awake, ktung, je, awake, ktung, je, awake, ktung, je. And then we're just going to repeat the process there. You'll notice patterns. And then as we were doing these conjugations before, you'll notice the patterns. And I think once you notice the patterns, that's when you really start to figure out the language. It's like, oh, I'm starting to figure out there's like a formula to it. There's like a rhythm to it, right? And the same thing, ah yeah, instead of we, ah yeah, doom, je. You forgot. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Awake, doom, je. Ah yeah, doom, je. Ah yeah, doom, je. Ah yeah, doom, je. You forgot. You forgot. Wana ke ayek tuje. Now again, you forgot. Yeah. Now again. Wana ke ayek tuje. And even unka, you notice too, if it turns into a question, hey ayek tuja, huh? If you turn it into a question. And so keep in mind too, a lot of these words you can compensate with the words he and hena, because he you're often already, you don't have to describe the noun, right? Hey will get you by, or henna, those or that. You know, a lot of times you don't have to specify what you're talking about because the context is already telling you. And then so, but later on you'll learn the nouns. But if you don't know what you're talking about, you can use the word hey, that, you know. Yeah. So that, do you remember like that? Hey, ayek tunja hai, right? So just little tricks like that to kind of get you by in the beginning when you're first using our language is those words he, hena, dena, de. Those will get you by if you don't know the specific name of the thing you're talking about, the noun. Yeah. So that helps a lot. So we'll go through it again. But by the way, you'll notice um if I put this pauser here, I don't know, I like to call them pausers because they make you pause, right? Uh, the pause is at the end. Um, if we didn't have, if we had, it's supposed to be right here, but if we had it back here, it'll say "Aye, doesn't make sense. So we have to kind of have that pause. Ah, yeah, so that little pauser is right behind the a. So say a first, the part. Ah, yek yeah. So that tells you a pause. Ah, yek yek je. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Because
Or
it's past, like I could say, where's it with somebody? Take piki, kanya take piki ayek tuje. What I said
oh
yesterday.
yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah. Because he specified the time on that one. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Kind of commanding somebody to forget about it. And I said, apik tuje.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Ayektuja shni. Yeah, right. Ayektuja. This will turn into ja, and then it'll turn into shni. Yeah, yeah.
You can still use it.
Oh, you still can, hey? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I still can. Oh, huh.
That's more preferable than ja.
It is. Yeah. So let's say this is the good one to use
Yeah.
here. Oh, huh. Ayek tu jeshni. Ayek tu jeshni.
You didn't forget.
Yeah. Yeah. You did not. Yeah.
Spelled
You
correct?
forgot not.
Yeah.
Uh, but if it's a command here again, there, it would turn into a wall at the end, or po for a man, or yeah for the ladies. And then if she's talking to two people, she would say, uh, yeah. Po is talking to like a couple more guys there. Yeah. Yeah. Uses. Yeah. 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 So if you ever hear somebody say Kiksuya Po, and there's only one guy there, then you're probably standing next to a invisible man that they could see. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, we'll move on here. Ayek duje. Ayek duja. Ayek duje. You know, a little tip out there for you guys that are learning. I found it was when I was sitting with Ishida Kenny Pratt at the drum. It was singing the songs that helped me to learn. So if you want to make a little tune, you can just make up something, right? Make a little tune and just sing it over and over and over. And I said, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "No, I'm just learning my language. I'm not trying to sing anything particular." It's just a fun way, I think, for us to get that word kind of soaked into the mind. Really get that thought thought put there. All right, so we're gonna add more people here. So you forgot, and then also the people that you're with there. So uh, yeah. Dum, ja, pi. Aek dum, ja, pi. Aek dum, ja, pi. So that's your Dakota we told Aek dum, ja, pi. You forgot your culture, your Dakota ways. Aek dum, ja, pi. That's how I guess you are. So um, s- imagine, yeah, imagine you're talking to me by myself. You wouldn't put that, right? But now, if there's one more guy beside me, one more, then you're gonna add Ayektum Japi. Ayektum Japi. By the way, those of you that are doing your language right now, even though the Oilers are playing tonight, I appreciate you. How can you resist? Yeah, and Connor Bedard, Connor, what was his name? McDavid, man, that's my favorite. Yeah. Wichashtaki hate dudes at all. He's fast. Ayek Japi. Ayek Ayek Japi. So just again, when you're in these situations where when you hear a word like this, you want to put it into context. So just imagine you're looking at a bunch of people and you're telling them you forgot. But you're specifically looking at one person. That's this person right here. The yeah, that's the you. That signifies that person that you're looking at. And then the B part means you're including two or three or four more people. And so you put yourselves in these scenarios and you say, I you forgot. You all forgot. So ayektuja. Yeah, yeah. You really want to put your feminine spirit in there, then you can say, yeah. Or do. Ayek tu japido. Ayek tu japido for us, eh? Yeah. And by the way, I brought this up too. There's a lot of the young guys, they're real proud of being Dakota, so they'll say do real hard at the end. You don't have to say it too hard. Ayek tu japido. It has to be do. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have to go Homer Simpson on your doors. Yeah. Ayektunja. And then here again, another way of spelling that would be like that too. So just keep in mind, there's many ways. This here is a TD, a little bit ktung there. I always have to remember that. Or yeah, ktung ktung. Kind of sounds like a two, like T and D mixed in there. Tung. Yeah. Uh-huh. Akiktunje. You and I forgot. Akiktunje. Ah. Kitunje. Oh, je. Akiktunje. So, again, it's just you and I. Akiktunje. 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 If I say it over and over and over, it'll sink in. Oh, this is sorry. I made a boo boo. You have to erase your stuff now. I just do that to prove that I'm an Ikchewi Chashta. Is make a mistake once in a while. I always forgot. Our code here for us is right? So we gotta put our in. Oh, Akiktuje. Unkiktuje. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Hanaka. Let me see. Let's fix that. Okay. Okay. No, no. Spell it out for me. There's probably
So you put
a dialect difference here.
yeah, take the N out and you put unka
Unka.
and take the U and out.
And it'll be like up right here, right?
Yeah.
Unka instead of unki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be UNKA
Yeah.
and then K.
Yeah. The this same part right here. Unka. Oh, yeah. Right. Right. Unka kiktuje. Unka kiktuje. Unka kiktuje. This must be a dialect difference on this one here. Hey? Yeah. So you imagine out there, we might hear it like this, but here in this particular Sioux Valley community, we pazoka wakpa dead unkaki ktuje. Unka Mm, there's a little bit of that sound right here. You get that ka ki tu je. Ka ki ti. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ka ki tu je. If you want, if it helps you, you can break them down like this. You can break them down into little sections, and especially when you're learning a new word. I found this out. It says unka ki tung je. Tung. Oh, uh-huh. Okay. Unka ki tung je. So there's little parts you can work on here. Unka in the beginning, just to kind of unka, 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 ki, ki, ktung, je. Unka ki ktung je. Unka ki ktung je. Unka ki ktung je. Put a little note in here. You know, we talked about that too with as much as we appreciate the the books and such that come all over, eventually we'll have our own here in Sioux Valley because there is a little word differences like that, like in this particular situation. I know for me, we living down in Sisseton, there was a lot of words I noticed they were using different than up here. So I said that's why I need to move home to make sure that I can learn how Ga and Kushi talk in Sioux Valley. And just to think, you know, like a lot of our grandpas, that time and time again, you hear the stories of the families being close with relatives. So our relatives, imagine, knew the different dialects between each family and knew how to jump between each one. That's pretty amazing if you think about it. Uh, so I imagine we're gonna do the same thing. Unkaki ja. We'll change this one here to add more people. So you and I, and then one more person. Yeah. Oh man, now we added you and I and plus a whole bunch of people in there. A whole forgetful crew here. Ungaki ktunja. So the only difference here for the two of us here, the only difference is that we did was added the ja and the b at the end. That's the differences. Instead of je, we said ja and then the b. Unkaki ktunja. Unkaki ktunja. Kakitunjabi. You imagine how many of the relatives too that live off in like Sisseton or wherever that are originally from here or have family from here. They can learn these dialect as well here. That's the cool part. And I've also said too, us coming together and being here, we're kind of bringing Ocheti Shakuni together, at least in the internet world. Maybe not in actuality, but in the internet world, we're all come together. Akik Tunjapi. Akik Tunjapi. Akik Tunjapi. Akik Tunjapi. Akik Tunjapi. How they even have this in here? It's spelled different. Akik Tunjapi. Akik Tunjapi. And so they all forgot. So you're not really specifying anybody in particular, but you could talk about a group here of people they forgot something, or how would you say a drum group? You know, drum group. How do you say? Would there be a word for like a drum group? I just Hokawi Chashta Pikine Odon Ki He. They that song Akik Tunjapi. They forgot it. Akik Tunjapi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, all those ones over there. Yeah, yeah. Hokawi Chashta Piki. Or you could say the slang version. Hokawi Chashta Pi.
There's there old time noticed announcers and people say the Dakota word singer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be in Sudan.
Mm. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's a good one to know right there. There's a little pause there with so you say oh first, yeah, and then ka. Yeah. Oh ka. So it's oh ka. So this is not even a kg on this one. This is just a regular ka. Yeah. Ka. I think what might help too is if you maybe add an H there, ka, like that. That might fix that. Oh, but make the sound first and then pause that and then yeah. Oh, ka. Yeah. Good one to know. Yeah, yeah. I've heard that too now. I've heard a lot of them hoka. I've heard that now. And to me, it kind of made sense too. It's a voice, right? And, yeah. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to sit and talk about that word on a different time. Yeah. Oha, washiteru. Yeah. Okay. Like I said before, if you guys are on your laptops or depends on what you could do a screenshot and then just save that on your phone or zoom in on it and take a screenshot if you want, and then you can keep all this. We had a conversation here a while back because we realized a lot of this information is going out freely into the universe. It's going out freely to all Dakota communities. And so this is why we've had that conversation. I know for myself personally, I've never ever wanted to be a gatekeeper. That was the word with our knowledge, with what we know. I want to share everything, and it would be even nice to maybe some of our the other relatives who maybe even non-native. You're learning this language, Dakota language. That's totally cool to me. That's I'm happy to share with everybody what I know. I'm still, like I will say this, I'm still learning myself. I moved home here to learn the language, and they were having a hard time finding a lot of language speakers. This is a very hard position to do for a lot of people. So, but I'm happy to oblige, even though it's scary. It's scary.
Just to make a little sentence out of these words that you put up here.
Yeah.
Akik Touche. Oh,
Mhm.
short sentence might be Oh, Pawachashtapi. And Odoa. Akik Touche.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Good one.
Or we could say, but if we are the jungle, we could simply say, Odoa.
Ah, shumkaku japi.
Just to make it sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope you screenshot that. Because now let's go. Go back. Imagine, it'd be really kind of cool. I always thought about this, a powwow where there's like a little bit of language pamphlet, and then you can learn just a little bit of words, and then the announcer just all Dakota, and what does he say on that one? We can kind of look it up, just certain words. And then also at our ceremonial events to try to speak as much of Dakota as you can, especially at our ceremonies. Even if it's even if the only word is peta, fire, make the peta. You don't have to say fire. You can say peta. Bring in the tunka or the ia, like that. You don't have to say stone or rocks. So just a little bit of thoughts there that I always had on that one.
That's good encouragement. It should be
Hmm.
whatever words you know, pet guy,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, use those words that
Right.
you live by.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So yesterday we kind of had with Dakota language too. There's a culture that comes with it, and but when we say culture too, we're talking about a certain feeling. When we know that feeling, we say "Wo Dakota." There's like a feeling that you get with family togetherness when people are working together. The song, the smudge, a combination of all of those different things, our behavior, how we behave, how we treat each other, family, relatives. It creates this feeling we call wodakota. And um and s- and to have patience for each other. I think one of the words that they used for patience was wochin tanka, wowachin tanka. And it means to me that seems like you have a lot of desires, but you're kind of holding on to it, right? Like that's how, yeah. Like wachim means to want something. Tanka means great, right? Like, and so you have a great desire, but you're not really pushing. You're not doing anything yet. You're patient, waiting for it. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So that to me that was always a real important. And then just my daughter came. I was trying to tell her she was playing outside, and I said, "I'll be right out, my girl. I'll be right out." And she said, "Take your time. Take your time." Just that little word, "take your time." There, man, that's real powerful. And so I always thought there had to have been Dakota sayings that we've had too. Like and so I was Shurungan here, this word for to wait for. We wait for awakipe. Awakipe. I will wait. I'll wait. So that we have this word akipe. Akipa. And then the pa version. Akipe. Often wonder something somebody has that Dakota name, Akipa, out there, hey?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember hearing a name like that too, one who waits. Yeah, I guess that's Owakipa. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's just yeah, it's to me it's just I remember when Unka used to talk about that when we go to Flower Day. He used to talk about how the little young boys have to sit there and you scan at Flower Day. And soon as you see a kushi that needs help or something, then you run. You run out there. To me, that's what that meant to me. Yeah. Akipe. Yeah. So it's not akipe, it's aki, right? Okay, so we gotta fix that right there. We got our G aki, and this is so when it's like that, it's one of these kind of sounds where it's not like a PB, but it's actually like a pe, pe or pa, pe or pa, aki pe. And so awakipe, awakipe is I wait, awakipe, awakipa, I wait. I guess you can use it as a complaint. Hey, wana ahash awaki pero. I've been waiting too long. Yeah, yeah. Hey, awaki pe. I've been waiting a long time. Yeah. Awaki pe. Awaki pe. They're real important word right there. How many of us are always waiting for each other? I know that's my problem is that I have sometimes get people waiting for me all the time. Yeah, awaki che. Can she say che? Yeah, che. The che. When you say it like that, it's not che. It's che. So there's a little pause in between che and then this word right here by itself. Awaki eh, eh, eh. Yeah. Eh, 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 That one needs a little practice. It's almost it's like that's an interesting sound because almost like if you really listen to it, that's the one of the things that I've always done with our language is there's a hint of a J in there. J. You kind of J. I wonder what kind of because that's an interesting letter, like an interesting sound for pronunciation. I wonder how we would do that. Uh, where there's like a little J in there somehow. J, J, J. Because it's not che, right? It's not that at all. It's a che. That's an interesting sound, but man, that's a whole eye opener right there on that topic. Uh, che, it's always che. Yeah, something that's Yeah, I'm always waiting. Yeah, just putting that che uh, changes it to I'm always waiting. Awaki pe. And in the same process too, by the way, with this next word, ayaki. It's just the same. You are, you are waiting. Ayaki pe. Ayaki pe. Ayaki. Little chain. Awaki pe. What would you say? Awaki pak pe. Awaki pe. Yeah, that's the those little words there change the words, right? Or change it. The word kte. If it's in the middle of a sentence, you'll say kta. Um, you could add the shni at the end, right? That's the other way you can change it. Awaki pishni. I'm not. I shall not wait. Yeah, yeah. And so, and then this one here can change it as well. Yep. Ayaki pe. Ayaki poppy. Ayaki poppy. Ayaki poppy. You. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it, it's probably when you say that they're just speeding it up so fast you don't even hear it. Wakipe, like that. Yeah. And especially if somebody is waiting, when they're saying this, they're probably gonna say it so fast because they've been waiting, right? Wakipe. And so, Ihawa. Ihawa. That's a different way of saying it there again. Yeah, you run. By the way, that's the word for open, by the way. You run. Everybody should know that word. Yeah, you run. Yeah, run. I open it. Beluga. You can, you can, yeah, beluga. We can, that word is probably in here too, if you have it. I have, did you? Oh, huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I have a relatives there that are coming up. So I don't know if we can. I was thinking of getting her some cash so she can buy a bunch at the college here. It's just to, yeah, it's to send her e-transfer some money mark. Yep. So yeah, uh, Ayaki B. Here's that PB. Yeah. See, here's a good example of some of those words too, where the different styles of P's, right? This one's the pa, and this is the B. Yeah. And that's the so now Iaki Pe, you're waiting, but now Iaki B. Now it's you and two or three or four or four. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Because this is a real good one for you to learn, is for being a driver, you know. Like, what are you doing? Oh, just Iaki Pe. Yeah. Hanach de. Yeah, still. Hanach is Hanach, you could probably use that word here. Hanach is a word for still. Hanach de awaki te. That's a good sentence. Hanach, still. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I like this office better, I think, to be honest. I feel like I don't have to yell. Saves on the voice. Pe. Yeah. Oh, on this one? Yeah. Awaki pe. Yeah. Yeah. Awaki pe.
It's a question.
Yeah. 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 Turn it into a question. Yeah, yeah. We this would just switch to I. So we're asking him, "Are you waiting still, or are you waiting?" I he he I keep
If I was him and asked that question, I would say like, "Hey, yeah, yeah." That's how you say.
yeah, yeah, keep. So if what's the scenario in that one? The context?
Yeah, yeah, two people, one person the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's how it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's this version.
Yeah, yeah,
It sounds like when you're saying it like that, it's like going to wait,
yeah,
like you're going about waiting.
yeah.
Is that how that?
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah, seems like that's what it's saying here. Yeah, this that turns to yeah right here
Yes, yeah,
in that situation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, kiwi ah, and then this will turn to ah,
yeah, yeah.
and then this will be a
Really
yeah,
specifically, like, some,
yeah,
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 you have the yeah,
yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
Do it.
It's interesting. Like a speaker, like how wide
Yeah.
or waiting,
Just one word, yeah.
yeah, depending on who you're talking about, how many.
I always remember when I was talking with Uncle Ronnie about this, and he put his head down and he said, "I don't even think about any of this stuff." He said,
Yeah, that's how it is.
"Yeah, And especially with English, like we're talking English, how many of us are sitting here thinking about what we're saying?
Yeah,
You know, we don't think about it, right? Yeah. But that's a real good word, akipa.
yeah.
That's a very common word. I imagine we'll be using it all the time, right there. All the time, every day we wait for something. Yeah, waiting for for the post office. You know, you know, just different things. Okay, yeah. So, Unkan, with this, our last situation, we change it to Unko Unka Kipa. Then now we chaka.
Mugaki. We are we.
Hey, we chaka. Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. All right, let's make sure we got our. Okay.
This almost sounds
Unka
like
Kipe.
a different dialect.
Mhm. Yeah,
Dialect.
yeah,
Aki. I've heard that before. Aki.
yeah,
I've heard that before, but here we will say yaki.
yeah, yeah. Unka Kipa. So you and I and everyone else. Unka Kipe. Well, let's just do this one first. Pe. Yeah, we'll just do this one first. Unka Kipe. So just you and I were waiting. What are you two doing over there? Unka Kipe. We're just waiting. Takushi, unka kipe. We're just waiting. We're doing nothing, just waiting. Unka Kipe. So just two people here. I would like to draw the little two people here on
In
this side.
conversation.
Yeah. They're talking to each other and they're just saying to each other, yeah, we're waiting here. Ukaki. 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 Here's a KG, by the way. And then this one's just a regular, you could do it like this to help. I don't know, maybe you even want to spell it like this. It'll be the same. Ki. Pe. And this is not a PB, this is a regular pe. Yeah.
Like that. We can use words like that way to pronounce it the way it's supposed to be pronounced. But instead, the pronunciation is better.
Right. Yes. That's you can quote that one right there. The correct pronunciation is better, more important than the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have said more important.
Yeah. Ukaki pe. Ukaki pe. So now we're gonna talk. So you and I, but now we're gonna add somebody else. There's three of us are sold. Watch that. Sorry. Like I said, I like to do that to remind you guys that I'm in Chewy Chashta. Unkaki Papi. Unkaki. Unkaki Papi. Unkaki. Remind ourselves. Unkaki Papi. Unkaki Papi. Unkaki Papi. So you and I and a few of us, we're all waiting. Yeah.
If in that case, in this case of Gaki, that's immediate here. What if somebody somewhere is waiting for us? Somebody in Rania is
Yeah. Aki. Pretty close.
it will be Brandon hates you on public. They, if somebody was reading somewhere, they were waiting for it.
So this is the one you were saying that
It's, yeah, that'll be us. We're waiting.
they they are waiting for him or her.
Yeah. Or
They.
yeah.
Aki Pep.
That's whoever is saying this is in the immediate area in this room.
Pretty much just adding a P to this top one up here. But then you'd always specify who here. You know, in many of these situations, right? You put a noun there and specify who's waiting. It's not too often you'd say it just like that unless you already everybody's already aware of who you're talking about. But you can say henna right there. Henna is they. Henna akapi aki pepi. Aki pepi. That takes practice. I think this one here will take a little bit of practice. Yeah. And so I think we'll take a little bit of a little break and have some more coffee here. Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah. Mitakripi. All right, I'm gonna. We're moving on to nouns. Last time we did some nouns, and I have I have it all written out here, but we'll be working on getting the um slides, the PowerPoint type of thing. That way, all the words will be written on there too, as well. And you could take screenshots and such. But for now, though, I have it written out on my phone here, and there's some certain words that I didn't know. Um, Kind of like program, certain words, state. You know, like I think it is like a state of mind or state, as in the state of North Dakota or whatever. You know, but we'll talk over these as we're going along, and we're gonna say this. Might as well make some sentences as we're going along too. But these some of these words here, it's just singular words, so there's no real sentences here. But we'll make. So I'll just go along. We have the word here for time. Time, like what time is it? But a long time ago, we had this big uh, topic around time. The time that we're living in is really colonizing our whole structure on how we did things. Wonkan told a story, a real beautiful story of one of the Kunshis back in the day, and you look on her wall, and there's markings on the wall that tell her when the sun gets to a certain point, when that shadow casts on the wall, it tells her, oh, it's time for planting corn or whatever. It tells her what to do. And so that's a beautiful story. That's our time. That's our time. Also, along with the moon system as well. So this new concept of the clocks and such is really changing our whole life in a very powerful way. So Dohan would be our word for time. Or Dohan Yaukre. When are you coming? So something simple like that. So time, that's the word for our word for time. Dohan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is one of the um, circumstance here that I notice you actually say the N a little bit. Dohan. It sounds like you wouldn't say it like Dohan, but you put a little bit of the actual N in there. This is a very, very rare circumstance. I noticed that you don't often do this, Dohan. But so in this circumstance, you're gonna say, hmm. So I would even maybe just as a reminder, because you're gonna want the sound in there, maybe even putting a N there just to remind you, Dohan, Dohan. Yeah, that might be a good way to do that on that one. Dohan. And so again, the we never really had a word for year, but we counted them based upon winters. So 1 year would be waniatu, waniatu. So that's also our word for winter, waniatu, waniatu, waniatu. TD on that too, waniatu, waniatu. There's a few people I know that have that name Winter, waniatu. Beautiful name to have it, Winter. Winter. Waniatu. Waniatu.
How many winters, eh? 2019.
Yeah. Yeah. Waniatu Zata. Yeah. 5 years. 5 winters. Yeah.
Actually, a year is like our discussion last night.
Omaka. Yeah.
Home.
Right. Yeah. That's the word we said we were gonna discuss today too, is that word for New Year's, because our we discussed that our New Year's is still coming. I know I celebrate New Year's just for the sake of our community because they celebrate it. But for me, in my mind, I'm like spring. As soon as the Wakia come, then it's Oma Katecha. And so let's put that word up here, just so that we know this word. This word right here, hecha, is real beautiful word because it's a word you can use for new, something that's new. I even you notice when we for our leftovers we call it watecha because it's almost like as if you're actively making it new. You take something old and then you take it home and eat it again. It's just like new, right? Watecha.
If that's how we're saying here, like, that's how you remember pronounce it properly. Surely, right. But the correct spelling, this guy here, John, he
Hmm.
doesn't,
Yeah. So, but yeah. Omakatecha.
oh,
Yeah. Omaka. This one's this. If you want to help with this one, it's a regular. It's not a kg. So if you want to write this like this, it's up to you. Like ka, ba ka, omaka. Yeah, omaka, omaka. Yeah, I would say right here. I would put a pause right there because if you didn't, it'll say omaka. Right, right. So omaka,
oh,
omaka.
that's the word.
Yeah. A good way to remember when I was learning about this word right here, I remember even seeing the word or the world and then O around it. O. That's kind of what helped me remember like all around the world. Oh my God. Just for myself anyways, that's what I did. So
There's here's my uncle, a famous around here back in the day.
oh, oh. So it's like saying his name was like worldly or all over the world. Oh, beautiful. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. So two words here, all over the world, or all over the earth, I guess, because this is the word for earth. Maka, tetra would be something brand new. Like I said, if you want to spell it like that, that's up to you. Yeah, I won't be side eyeing you like that somewhere. Giving you this. It's because she sells her ch. She spells it that way. That's why. Omakatecha. So that's one word that it's a word for New Year. It's like it's saying all over the world it's brand new. I guess that's how you could look at it like that. Like all over the earth. This says all over just by itself, just by that O right there. All over. All over the earth. New. You see, we make our languages complicated because I know so many people are looking for this word. The world is new, right? We're looking for that extra word in there to, but it's real simple. All over the earth, new. It's real simple like that. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense to them. They have their a system, and I imagine if you learn that system, it'll probably be pretty awesome. Like, but it's just a matter of learning different ways of writing, and I saw that, but for me, I'm just so used to this, and so I just did it that way personally.
This is Dakota.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, because like if you even look at some of the writings like that, you'll see that they write, for example, like let's see this Dakota.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll
I've
see it.
seen that. Yeah.
And I remember when I first saw it, I used to say Dakota.
That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we would say it, how I did, be just because I was, really into
Dakota.
the. Yeah, this whole how does that look? I wonder. Whose picture would we see? Okay, all right. So moving on here, and then okay, we have our standard people, nation, oyate, oyate, oyate. Sometimes you hear a lot of us say oyate. That's just kind of like a slang or suppose. We kind of hear it like oyate, oyate. Yeah, people. And then keep in mind, oyate doesn't necessarily mean humans. It could also mean
Yes.
birds, or those are different nations to us. We looked at it as different nations. Chupahu oyate, Wahu topa oyate. Yeah, all the different nations that are out there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so on here it says the word for away. Awaechu is the word like a way or a way of doing things. Or yeah, we can use that. So this is waechu. It's just not doing something. It's a way of. Mhm. Yeah. So so that word like a way of life, we chochen could be that too. Hey, another way. So this is one of the things that's kind of fun later on is you could take one word like that, like a word like way, and then you'll notice there's a few words that might fit into that, right? Wichocha is like a way of life. Washichu wichocha, like the Washichu way. Wichocha. So that's what the word for way, some kind of like a way of doing things. And then the next one that the word that they have on here is the word for man. She trying to write Washi. Oh, jeez. Oh yeah, we chop. And in Sioux Valley, Dakota, we say shta. We cha shta. Down south, you'll hear we cha sha. We cha sha. Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a T. We cha shta.
On that, go back to the YH.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that to ask if something is working. Talk about YH.
Oh yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah. Working. Okay. Is
Is
it?
it YH on it? Is that car working?
Yeah.
It's not broken.
Oh yeah. Is it doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. H. H.
Radio YH on it. Is the radio working? Just
That's
to
good
make
to
a
know.
little.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, he will say stop.
And this is earlier we said something. If you don't know what it is, it's just a thing, right? You could say taku mo, taku, hetaku king. I heard that like that. Yeah, whatever that is, hetaku king, whatever that is. Yeah, hetaku king, whatever that is. I don't know what sentence that I heard. Hetaku king iotan. Whatever that is, it's special or meaningful. Iotan. Iota is a word for something that's kind of like really meaningful or special or something. Daku. You can say daku won, right? Like thing. That's like saying thing. Daku won. But that's the word for something or something. Hetaku ki. That thing is good. Washite hetaku ki washite. Daku. Mia, Mia, Wee, wee, wee. So there's a couple, two nasal sounds on there. Wee, wee, yeah.
It's just
Yeah. Kind of like a shorter version too, hey? Yeah. Oilers are winning by 3. So you guys don't need to watch the game. You can. I'll give you the updates here. Hmm. Life. The word for life. We say we choni. Yeah. Life. We choni washte. Good life. We choni. Life. We choni washte. Good life. Uh, All right, take a little picture there if you can. I'm gonna move on to the next ones. But this is the ones that'll be on the slides anyway, so if you guys don't really want to. But again, I don't write the English translations. You guys could write all those. I just these are just the Dakota words for time, winter or year. Waniatu. Omakatecha, new year, a new earth. Oyate people. Waechu, to do something or to act in a certain way, or it's working, it's doing it correct. To do it good, right? To do something. We chochan a way of life. That's what that. And so for the word for man, we chashta. And daku for a thing or a daku. Hetaku ki that thing, you know. Uh, we for woman, we young, we young, we young. We choni for life. And so, yeah, you can go ahead and take your pictures of that one. These are the ones that are in, improving our vocabulary as we're going along here and replacing a lot of these words as much as we can. And yesterday we did the one already for child, but I'll just put this on here. Chichecha. Here's one of those words there, where you notice it's kind of like a little bit of a J again. Chiche. Che. Chichecha. That's so I'll probably have to talk about that and think of a word or think of a way. I even think of, geez, you imagine who's gonna take the meticulous time to rewrite the alphabet and to put all of it in there like that, you know, to I like hearing it reminds me of Humpa Peta. That's why I have that like that. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So one little thing like that is really important there. Just chichecha. Yeah. Che child. That one's just a child. Just one. Oh, we could more add more again if you want to do that. Chichecha be children. The child. And then so the word for world, maka. Would we say that world? Maka sitomni. For the all over the world. It's a very important word, by the way. If you go to ceremonies, you'll hear this. So you hear guys say Makasi Domini Hoye Waye. I send my voice. Hoye Wa. Yeah, I send my voice. Makasi Domini. Hoye Waye. Maka. So that's the word for world, I guess. Oh, why am I writing English? I don't go to English. You guys know how to write English.
all around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember that one song that says "All Around the World"? That one we could sing that in for this version. Hmm.
What
Go
is
ahead,
it?
Elton. Give it a shot. Huh? Pardon me. Yeah, Makasito me. This one won't be a KG, by the way. It'll be one of these kind here. Another word you added. Oh yeah, hoye waye.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah, ho is the voice.
yeah. Yeah, why?
Hoye
I'm
waye.
sending.
Put a pause right here. Hey,
Oh yeah,
ho ye waye. Hoye waye.
sending.
Yeah,
Oh,
ba- yeah, yeah. You could look at the voice away. I send. You could even break it down like that if you want. Voice away. I send, or it goes. Yeah. Oye waye. Oye waye.
Oh yeah,
Oye waye. Oye waye. This pause right here means say this a little bit more louder or a little bit more, and then oh yeah waye. Oye waye. So this is you always hear that in the beginning of a prayer, hey? Like it seems like that was important that the grandpas all over the world, I'm sending my voice. They always said that. Sounds very beautiful. All right, here we go. Oh yes, for school, Wayawa. Wayawa. Wayawa.
why? Why? It could be reading. Yawa is read. Yawa.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have that word count coming up. Yeah. Yawa. Wayawa. To count or read. And then so we came up to that word state or like a state of mind. I didn't really know what to put there, so I just put tawachi or
Yeah, that's what.
yeah, like a certain mind, a state of mind,
State of
tawachi.
mind.
Yeah. So what's your mind? Tawachi washte, good mind, tawachi shicha, bad mind, like that.
A state like say
Tawachi.
a state like a state of will be
Okay, like a piece of the
piece.
land.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, huh.
Okashbe is a piece.
Okay, can you say it again?
Mako, gosh,
Gosh,
a piece. Yeah, or no, like kind of like
Mako gosh.
gosh,
So,
is like you kind of break it.
oh,
Yeah,
huh.
like this
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah.
America, but gosh, Mako, gosh,
Yeah.
is a piece.
Hmm. So there's that.
Mako is a Maka.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
You can also say Makangash, but you can say that,
Yeah.
but it's usually said Mako.
Oh, wonder why. Dokucha. Yeah. Mako gosh. That's probably a new word that they never had before, right?
Yeah.
They never had that like that. Territories in a sense, but not like a
Yeah.
cut piece of land, you know.
Territories. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Mako gosh. Oshpa is the word for like a piece, right? Yeah. Is it unshpa or oshpe? Unshpa. Yeah. I'm gonna write a little note right there. Unshpa.
Yeah.
Kado unshpa, like a
Yes.
piece of meat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Makokashpe. So we do have a word for this. It's like a synonym or a homonym, right? The state, it could mean two different. The state of South Dakota or your mind state. This one is the mind. This one is the actual place. Makokashpe, the state of.
Or a reservation.
Or oh yeah, a reservation will be considered a state too as well. Oh, oh, I don't know why that's there.
Yeah, I could be a reservation.
Yeah,
Reservation.
yeah.
Piece of land.
Makokashpe. Oh, huh. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Could even be considered a reserve. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Could be a state.
but the origin of this word here is mushpa is it's like a piece of something. Mushpa. So you could say tado mushpa, a piece of meat. Yeah. Tado mushpa wachni. I want a piece of meat. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting words. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting language.
Mhm. I used to don't do that. Awiukcho.
Think about
All right. And so for the word for family, we talked about that. Tiwahe. Family, I think many people. Tiwahe for family. The word for student.
it.
Let's just say uspewi chashta or uspewi or something. Somebody that's wanting to learn. Might be a good one to come back to that one. Okay. I'll make a note of that. Student. Well,
It has to be fed.
yeah, 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 yeah. Right. And so a group of people, or I put okora kichia. Yeah. All right. A group of people, or like a oh,
Society
there's that word "oh" by the way again. You're gonna notice it because it's just like
encompassing.
yeah.
What
Oh,
did you say the student
Right? Stay alone. Yeah.
yeah, one uspe.
Yeah. Won't speak.
Hmm?
Won't speak.
Oh, huh. Yeah,
That
one uspe. Well, that's the word for student here. Eh? Okay. There's a group of students.
won't speak.
One uspe kua. Yeah.
One after knowledge.
There used to be that wa uspe.
Whoa. Yeah. Won't speak is
Like
won't speak is That what we say is the knowledge. What we say is the knowledge. Say you have it already.
Like a present and past.
Yeah. Like a teacher would be what we say.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, all these questions are exactly, and especially out there, those that are listening, I hope you don't feel like you're disconnected here. You're part of it. You can definitely ask some questions and be a part of it here with us today. Yeah, yeah. All right. So we got a group of people. Okoda Gichi. Gichi means together, like with. Uh, and then ya as they go about it, and then he means more than one person, friends. This again, this word right here. I just saw a post there from an elder from South. He was talking about that word koda or mashke. He said it's that word's being thrown around just a little too much. Because if you call somebody koda, that means, geez, if that guy goes a hard time, you're there at his house. That's going to be a big promise if you call somebody koda for men, and then for female they mashke. And so it's not a word you take lightly, you know. And so
For
like
female,
mashke, yeah. So if I call somebody koda, that definitely any hard time, 2 o'clock in the morning he calls, I'm gonna jump up and be there for him no matter what. And it's kind of like till death do us part kind of vow, like it's a very serious thing. So I just wanted to speak for that elder today and kind of repeat.
What's the name?
Mm-hmm. Right. Very serious. Very serious. Mm-hmm. As if what males say. Yeah. Sometimes you hear women say Quran. It's mainly for females is mashke. Yeah. Yeah. Just
In
yeah.
this community,
Yeah.
the Dakota reserves here, they use the generic Dakota. Only
Quran.
females can say that.
Mm.
Males, it just means a friend,
Mhm.
but serious.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are out there, you can go ahead and take a picture. Sorry, this one's not. I'll make this a little bit more clear. I think Arlene. Oh yeah, Kua. Yeah,
Chasing.
I just remember that from the old Christian days. Kua, Kua, Kua. They used to sing that on going after water or something like that. They're fetching water. I guess you could say fetching, hey, for that word Kua. Yeah, Kua. Well, maybe we'll do a conjugation on it. Remind me of conjugation next class. We'll do Kua. Yeah, to fetch or to go after something. Yeah. So you can imagine if for when they're going for horses or something, you can use that word as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Kua.
cool.
Oh, Kua. Yeah. 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 Oh, Kua. Yeah. Like it's running around all over again there.
Chasing
Hey.
after.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and take your picture if you can, your screenshot or whatever you guys can, and then we're gonna move on. So our
This
word
was
here.
my relatives.
what about the age?
Same thing. Takuya. It's mostly preferable this way. Takuya. Here. Next
Hmm.
My relative.
One of the benefits that you get for coming in here, by the way, is hands-on, one-on-one tutoring. Is one of the things that, one of the reasons why I like to come. There's times we sat in meetings when we didn't have live feeds, and those are just so beneficial to me. Because, like I said, I'm more of a student and then a teacher, So uh, I'm here to learn as much as I can. Here's a word for country, makoche, makoche.
And if you're gonna refer to the payment plan, the 4-year payment plan, without pay, you have to be serious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a light word. Yeah. I think how many of us use "Hey friend," "Hey buddy," and then we just kind of throw that word around now, but it's kind of like yeah, it was pretty serious back in the day. Yeah, yeah. If somebody called me Koda like traditional and they meant that, that makes you cry. Oh my gosh, because that means that guy's gonna be there for my kids if something happens to me. It really means a lot if somebody calls you Koda. Yeah.
So in other words, like,
Not anymore. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just through colonization that happens. Yeah. That's just to be expected.
it's been taken from us.
To an extent. Yeah. 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 But like I said, we're getting back to it
Yeah.
here with these classes and trying to get back to where we need to be. So when we have a problem, what would we say? What would be the word for if we have a situation or problem? Problem. We choke it, if we don't know, we can come back. Mm, Takushicha, something. Takashicha. Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
Shija Ed Mahi.
Edmahi. Takushicha Edmahi. Something came to me, but that's a.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Takushicha.
Yeah.
That would be just something bad that's happening. Yeah. And then, well, then somebody looked up the word here that, well, when there's a problem, the result of it that happens from there is kakija, is they suffer from that's a result of the problems that we have is the kakija, wo kakije. We suffer. But yeah, a problem kakija. I wonder if you would say a problem otechika, difficult. Yeah. I would want to say Shintguza, but that's whole different concept too. There, that's almost yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost like there's energy in the air off. Yeah.
That's a different ability.
Yeah. 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 So it's a problem, difficult time along those. Mm, real simple. The word for hand. Nape. I always talked about like later on. I did do have that one paper here with all the old Dakota names. It's a real good way to learn nouns. Is learn the Dakota names. It's I, that man on man called horse there. One of the warriors there. He didn't make it in the war. His name was Napezi, Yellow Hand. Yeah,
You
Napezi.
have to be careful with the pronunciation of this one because the way it's written, it could be hand, could be running away.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So look here. Here's it. Um, Nape for hand, PB, and pe. Just like that without the PB, or if you wanted to write it like this, pe. Na pe is to run away from something.
And the Dakota
Mm-hmm. Na pe. Yeah.
Yashi Janapeo.
And which makes sense because we talked about that word na when like naksa, you break something with your foot. So sometimes when you hear the word na in certain languages, you're using your foot. I think that was the first class we talked about that one, the very first class. Uh, so that makes sense. Na pe right here is running away from something, and this one is your hand. I'm just gonna write that. So very similar on all those. You can learn two words in one right there in a sense when you have these situations. Na pe, your hand. Na pe, to run away from somebody. That's good to know. All right. And so we talked earlier about that word part. Um, Ushpa. Yeah, just a part of something or a piece of something. Ushpa. I remember this was a very important word for me to learn. I started hearing it everywhere after that. Ushpa. It's really interesting when you learn these Dakota words because after you learn one, then you hear it more. You hear it all over. Ushpa. Mm. Yeah. 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 Here it is. Yeah. Those are real nice words. We should do a topic when come springtime. Wet to hair, huh? We'll do one for the flower days. It'd be nice to hear more of the when we're handing out food and stuff, all in Dakota. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. It'd be nice, by the way, if anybody's out there in the listening audience, those of you that are, because I know us sitting here in class, that's only 10% of it. The other 90% of it is sitting down at home and going through the video, repeating it, replaying it over. Geez, if anybody's doing that out there, I just want to shake your hand in a good way because to put in that extra effort out there because the amount of information that we already put out, the, you should have a firm grasp on our language by now. Yeah, with the practice. But I know how hard it is. You go home or tired, this is hard to maintain. But if you definitely are taking this knowledge and repeating it over and over, man, my hat's off to you. Hats off to you. So anyway, what do you feel? Do should we put her keep going or yeah, we'll put her. This is kind of like we've been going for a while. Yeah, and yeah. Washiro. Oh, mi take I always want to say tayan po. We all been saying that every time. And like you can choose how you want to live. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose how. That's what I've noticed with being Dakota when they say, "But he had me cheer, but he had me cheer." I make myself strong. So it's instead of saying, "Oh, life is happening to me and this is happening," no, no, he had me cheer. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna not give up. I'm gonna be persistent. As you choose your own thoughts, right? And don't let the world choose your thoughts for you. So I just wanted to say that uh, and wish everybody well. Tayo po. Oh, itakuyo was. Oh.